welcome back to Daydream Believers with Elle and Elle.
Whoa, I almost feel like crying. That's been so long.
Me too. I always forgot what to say.
Yes.
It's been that long since we've sat here in very different places. We actually changed around our studio, which is really exciting.
I know.
Elle's sitting on fingers.
I'm sitting on like a hand couch. One like, think Spy Kids like thumb room. Very much that.
Definitely
only.
that.
Purchased from Marketplace with a lot of like cat fur on it.
Yeah, it looked nasty. Kind of scary. I'm not going to lie, my son was actually quite scared of this chair.
Yeah, he mentioned to me and then he was like, it's your chair. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay.
Yeah, he's like, makes sense.
He was looking, oh my God, I just realized what you said. He was looking at it and he had his hands behind his back, like held.
No,
and
he does the old man walk.
Oh, yeah.
Don't take that personally. He's a inner, you know how people have their inner child? He has his inner old man.
His old soul.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
No, he definitely was just like walking with his hands behind his back like, I guess that's what you're into now, Auntie Elle. Other people's leftover chairs.
Hey, we're all in someone's leftover chair. I'm actually in my grandfather's old chair.
I love.
Yeah.
I know.
He passed away 9 years ago. And last year sometime, my grandmother was like, I'm going to get rid of the chair. And I'm like, don't you dare get rid of that chair. It's mine.
No.
Well, we asked everyone who needs a chair. And I was like, can I have it? And then they gave it to me. So
And it's sat in your playroom ever since.
playroom. By playroom, I mean a room that's meant to be a playroom, but it has come a storage room. Sorry, love.
But now it came to good use.
Yes, so the spirit of my grandfather is now within the podcast, so aren't you all lucky?
Yes, and I was looking on Marketplace for one similar so we could match, but now my vision has changed and I'm like, Elle, can I get a hand couch?
I was like, no! I'm just kidding.
We'll see how
it
this
was a
goes.
great idea. I like it.
I need to zhuzh it up a bit.
It needs a bit of zhuzhing. I'm trying to understand the hand symbol it's doing.
I don't
Like
know
a thumb.
either.
It's got a really short thumb.
It's got a very short
Stumpy thumb.
Stumpy thumb, but it's quite nice for my knee to sit on.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm
Is it
actually
comfortable?
quite comfortable. I'm shocked how comfortable I am right
That's
now.
surprising.
Yeah, but I do like to sit with my legs up a lot, so it kind of is just
Yes,
a natural-
the old sit leg up.
a sitteroo. Yes. Yes, what's new? Why were we gone? Let's tell Alf.
Oh man, like we were both out of the country for a period of time,
Yes.
and it just kind of happened.
I know. I left in April. Oh my
Are you
gosh.
kidding me?
Yes.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, so I left in April.
in a good way.
Left in April. If anyone remembers from the podcast, I was going to India. Everyone was like warning me not to go.
Don't you dare.
Don't dare. It was
Bungalow.
it was honestly amazing. I've been to
Good on you.
so many countries now, and India I would say is in like top 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Top 5, you say?
Top 5 of like 39 countries.
Wow.
So I would recommend
39 countries?
Yes.
What the hell?
I know, I'm slowly getting so many sketched off my list.
Wow. You
Yes.
should get like the world, like a globe.
The world. I should get the world.
Well, you should. You've been to most of it. I'm just kidding. You should get like the world on your wall and then color in
Oh yeah, I have
all
one
of
of
the
those
countries
scratchy
you've been
ones.
to.
Yeah, someone bought my friend and his partner bought me like one for my birthday or Christmas last year, and it's like a giant little poster. Why do I have to
hell.
say little in between every word I
don't
say?
know.
But
It's your filler word.
it really is.
Instead of being like, although you do say like a
I
lot.
say like-
Instead of being like, you're like, little.
a little poster, and I scratch it off. I've got to finish scratching actually. Yeah, was in India, then Egypt, then Europe, then Japan, then Korea, then
Damn.
Vietnam, and then I came home, and then she left.
And then I left. Well, I left before you got back.
Yeah,
So we didn't see each other for like a good 4 months.
yeah.
That was
tough stuff.
That was tough. Yeah, that was tough.
It was tough stuff.
And then I went to not as exciting places: Greece, Italy,
exciting.
and England,
Why
and
not?
France.
On France.
It was
And
lovely.
Singapore.
Oh yeah, I always forget about Singapore.
Yeah.
Why do I forget about Singapore so much?
It's a layover place.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it was really lovely. I had a great time. If you're thinking of traveling with a 4-year-old, just know that it's going to be harder than you might think. But that's coming from someone who has a fussy eater. So
Yeah.
it was harder to get him to eat. In Italy especially, it was difficult to get him to eat there because he doesn't really eat pizza because he doesn't like red sauce. That's the problem. Red sauce is his like trigger thing. So he won't eat pizza. Mm-hmm. He'll only like eat garlic pizza or like a white-based pizza. But it's
very rare, yeah.
And he'll eat pasta, but he's got to eat a plain. So he lived on salami sandwiches and plain pasta in Italy. Damn it.
Well, I'm thinking it's so crazy how different kids like different things. Like my sister also was like not into tomato sauce or tomato-based sauces, right? But then her best friend, this boy from primary school, that kid, he used to come over because we used to take their family to school in the morning, would eat like toast with tomato sauce.
Toast with tomato sauce?
Yeah, and I remember being like, that can't be normal. Is that like an Aussie kid thing? Like I never could, but I swear no one else I've met is into that.
Well, okay. My younger brother, which you know very well, obviously,
cousin,
lived off tomato sauce sandwiches.
Oh, that's the same as toast. Wow.
Yeah, but is it better not toasted or toasted? The age-old question.
I reckon better toasted, if I'm going to be honest with you.
I got to tell you, it was not toasted. It was your plain white bread, your plain Aussie white bread with tomato sauce. And he took that every day to school. I'm going to say years. Years, damn it.
Oh my God, why?
Because
with nothing else in it?
Nothing else, just tomato sauce.
Actually, now I think about it, it's kind of like a sausage from Bunnings, but without the sausage.
Yeah, a sausage from Bunnings without the sausage. Well, yes, but no, it's not good. But he did eventually upgrade to a plain salami sandwich. No tomato sauce in it, just salami.
Wait, no butter?
Butter? No, of course not.
Why
would you assume butter?
I was such a sucker for butter. I'm still a sucker for butter.
You'd actually do well on this new diet that I'm doing, Elle. Segue. Well, I've decided to do the carnivore diet.
Mm-hmm. She has indeed.
Yes, but I actually think you'd like it because, I mean, I haven't done it, but there are people online that eat just butter.
There's the whole thing.
Just as like they take little nibbles.
I already do that.
Jesus, Elle.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I reckon almost every day, or any day that like I just cannot be bothered making anything else, I will have salad biscuits with just like proper thick pieces of butter on top.
Okay, that's understandable. I thought you were going to say you take bites of butter. Then again, that really wouldn't surprise me.
I'd also just chop a piece of butter and go.
Interesting.
So tell us, how you've been snacking?
So I'll straight up say why I started doing it in the first place. Mm-hmm. One is I think all of our old listeners will understand, will know within their hearts that I have a gut issue because although you usually have been joining me on these gut issues, Elle, but I think I talk about I have about 50 million diarrhea stories.
Yes.
And obviously there's a reason why this thing keeps happening to me. And I am unsure why. I am unsure. So the whole point of this carnivore diet is to help improve my gut health. Mm-hmm. So I'm stripping away anything that could be remotely the cause.
Yeah.
Letting my stomach breathe for a second. Then I'm going to slowly introduce fruits first, then a bit of vegetables, and then slowly make my way back onto carbs. But it might take a long time. I'm hoping to take a long time anyway.
Yeah.
So that's one reason. Second is apparently it's amazing for period pain.
Oh, wow.
And you know I get bad period pain.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another big reason. It helps with acne and any skin issue.
I've had no skin issues.
I'm just saying pretty much the benefits right now.
Yeah, I get you.
But I do get hormonal acne. So, no, I wouldn't say acne, hormonal pimples.
I'm like, have you seen my chin for the last 3 years? Tell me about hormonal acne.
Which my husband's doing it with me and he has psoriasis on his head and he gets eczema as well. So we're hoping that clears up for him. There's just so many. Oh, the biggest reason I'm probably doing it is for mental clarity.
Oh, yeah.
So people have been going on this diet for purely mental health reasons because apparently you just feel so good. You feel great.
I will say, I did, like we mentioned the other day when I saw you, her mental clarity, or at least like your brain fog, has improved. It's only been a couple of days, but the other day when I came here and you're like, yeah, I did this today, I was like,
yeah, I was actually able to stick to a task when I wanted to do it, which was pretty crazy. I also feel like I'm stuttering less. Fuck yeah.
Yes, you proved
There
your
goes
point.
that point. I know. I do feel like I'm able to spit my words out better. I've been finding that I'm like that. Like I can't get my words out sometimes.
Yeah.
And as someone who has a podcast, not great.
Yes, I am also. I also get like stickety stuck with words all the time.
Stickety stuck. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, stickety stuck.
Stickety stuck.
Stickety stuck.
Yeah. So there's that, and then also, you know what, guys? I'm gonna be real. I want to lose a bit of weight.
That's fair.
I do. I want to lose a bit of weight, and so far that's all going well. I've been on it for 5 days, feeling good so far. I will update everyone. Although I miss fruit.
How in terms of gut health wise, how have you felt gut wise?
Well, I haven't had a stomach ache in 5 days,
Wow, nice.
so there's that.
I don't think I've gone a day of my life without a stomach
Me
ache.
too. Well, me too. And you know what the funny thing was? I always thought it was dairy that was the culprit.
Yeah.
But I'm having little bits of dairy.
Oh yeah, you have been sipping on milk.
Oh, milk has been my bestie. Because when I feel like something sweet or fruit, something like that, I take a sip of milk, and the freshness of cold milk, it pretty much it's like it fulfills that sensation I want.
Yeah, I feel like it's like the coldness would get like mask any of the like freshness of like actual vegetables and fruits.
Yes.
But then the coldness also and the creaminess can kind of mask like what you'd crave like dessert wise, I
Yes.
think as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm finding it very helpful when it comes to that.
Sweet.
Have I found any downsides yet? One is obviously the cravings have been coming in. Not as bad as what I thought, I got to tell you.
Really nice.
I thought my cravings would be bad because my cravings were bad when I was eating everything.
Yeah.
My cravings were horrible. And I don't mean to be frank, everyone, TMI, but this is the first day of my cycle. And usually I binge on my cycle. I'm like, I crave the world.
Yeah.
I crave everything. But I actually haven't done that, which is nice. I think because it's only been 5 days, I can't really talk about period pain.
Yeah.
I did get cramps when it first started.
Yeah.
Took Panadol, it went away, and it hasn't come back, which is not usually the norm.
Yeah, I was going to say, usually
it comes
Panadol
back.
doesn't work for me, yeah.
It doesn't usually really work for me either. So I don't know.
Interesting.
So far, so good.
That's positive. Positive stuff.
Well, I'm thinking of doing quick updates every week.
Yeah, I'd like that. In terms of, because obviously it's like animal-only products right now. In terms of liquids you're consuming.
Yep.
So you're still having things,
Water,
just
milk.
water and milk.
Water, milk.
You can't have juice.
Watery milk. Just kidding.
Can't have soda.
No. I did have a few sips of Coke no sugar last night.
That ain't no animal product.
It ain't.
How'd it feel?
Yeah, it was fine. I'm not going to lie. I didn't feel great about it.
Yeah.
Like my stomach felt a bit bloated after. But within half an hour, I felt great again.
Yeah.
That's what's been really great about these meals is that feel full when I eat them,
Yeah.
but after about half an hour to an hour, I feel really light.
Well, I have updates too in terms of my health.
Your health.
Yeah, so how we all know that Elle like goes to the toilet and has her toilet stories all the time, you also know equally that every episode I start it with Elle asking me, how are you going, Elle? And me saying, I feel sick.
Yes.
I have a tummy ache.
Yeah, your tummy hurts.
Like my legs hurt. My legs gone numb. I have a migraine. Yada yada. So it turns out I am quite unwell and I'm currently waiting to see a cardiologist and a rheumatologist to get some clarity around a potential chronic illness. So I will update everyone once I get a bit more information. But at the moment, I've like learning since you were gone for those while I was back and you were still away, those few weeks to myself were just filled with doctor's runs.
Yikes.
And just really trying to understand how to manage my day-to-day life now that I'm so aware of like what I'm not as capable of doing that I thought I was, if that makes sense. Like nothing really stops me from doing the same, like living life the way I was before, except if I continue living that way, I'm just going to continuously get sick.
Yeah.
And it's not like from what I'm eating or not from like the lack of exercise. It's like, if anything, there's a reason why I've always struggled to like do things and move and like do things like that because they're the things that are actually making it worse. So it's just really hard to like know that like when I go to the gym now, I have to be really, really careful in how I go to the gym. Currently working out if I have POTS and potentially
POTS.
EDS, so Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So I will update you guys on that too. But if anyone else listening has looked into those or has those as well, and you're in Australia, please hit me up because if you live with a chronic illness, you probably understand how shitty the medical system is sometimes in seeing your chronic illness. And it's been just like a bit of a dark hole the last couple of weeks, if I'm honest with you.
It would be a dark hole because how hard is it for doctors to just listen to you when you're coming to them with your symptoms? You're there for a reason. It is frustrating when you go and you tell them a symptom or symptoms and you want to look into something, look into it further, and they're like, if you still have it for another week, then we'll look into it. And it's like, no, I've already been feeling this way for months.
Yeah,
just deal with it now.
Exactly. I've been I've been talking to Elle about it like since she's been back like nonstop because it's genuinely disappointing every time. Like I've changed GPs because I was having issues with the last GP.
Yeah.
And I've changed GPs, which all well and good. I did my research, even paying money a little bit, like more than just a bulk bill GP, so I can try and get the results I'm sort of after, or try and get someone that cares a little bit more.
Yeah.
But still faced with the same sort of issues of really having to advocate for myself. And I would suggest to anyone else that is currently struggling to kind of get their health concerns properly met or are currently looked at by GPs or the doctors that they're speaking to as if you have health anxiety or you're a hypochondriac, even if you aren't, because I know for a fact I'm not. Like I've never cared this much about this stuff ever in my life. It is just now that I have knowledge around what this may have been this whole time, and I've had other people in medical fields say like, hey, you have every symptom of this.
Yeah.
You should go see a specialist. It's now like wanting to advocate for myself to actually go get the referrals to go see these specialists and go do all those things and get the correct tests done, is where I'm realizing that like how important it is to actually be the person to keep fighting for yourself and not to just take, if you don't get the answer that you're looking for from someone, and not because they've done the test and the test has come back and they're actually doing the work with you, but if someone is just blatantly saying, no, I don't think you have that, it doesn't seem like you have that, there's no point running the test because of yada yada yada, go find yourself another doctor, go find yourself someone that's actually going to take you seriously, because and just keep advocating for yourself, because there are so many people that I've spoken to in the last couple of months that have been in the same boat, and like if they didn't keep going and looking, like they could be in a much worse situation now. So
it is ridiculous how much you actually have to advocate for yourself or your kids.
I mean, kids for sure.
You fully expect the doctors to treat you as seriously as you expect them to. You know what I mean?
110%.
So I understand how hard it is to get doctors to understand you're there for a reason.
Yeah, you wouldn't be there if you didn't, like,
I know.
It's a waste of our time if we don't actually want to be, like, it's just wild. I feel like as well, like even from a kid perspective, it's that's one blessing. Like I know we've had so many discussions on the podcast about like TikTok and the highs and the lows of TikTok. But like I do think for every one of those like shittier experience TikToks, you do get, it's so good in terms of like knowledge. Yeah. And like I wouldn't even know to look into this stuff if it wasn't for people advocating for themselves on TikTok and asking these questions. And like I wish that it kind of existed when our parents were raising us, because so many times I went to the doctors as a kid with my mum. And I think I've spoken about this on the podcast before, where I've gone to the doctors because I was getting like sternum pain or like chest pains really badly. And I'm saying like every week, at least once every week, I would be in the sick bay at school saying I have these like really bad chest pains. And every single time it was pinned down to either anxiety or just sternum pain.
Right.
And there was no test run. No one was checking anything about me. And now I've now been confirmed. I've done like a Holter test and have confirmed that my blood pressure is insanely low. My heart rate is extremely high, even when I'm not doing anything.
I know. Elle wears an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
And she'll stand up from the couch. Okay? That doesn't exert too much energy. You think,
it doesn't do anything.
Right?
But I feel like I'm going to faint every time.
But we look at her heart rate and it's at like 130.
Yeah.
From like
From just standing. And I'm not standing and walking, just standing.
Yeah, it's literally insane.
It's wild. Insane. And I've never like thought to check my heart rate. Like I'm not someone that usually would wear it all the time.
No, and you know what the funny thing is? We did a test of mine.
Yes.
Remember, I put on your Apple Watch. I went up and down my stairs.
Twice. Like just up and down.
Up and then down. Mine was at like, what was it at, 90?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's nothing.
Like, it just
and then
went
mine's
to
just like,
nothing.
whoop, just from standing up. It's actually wild. Like if as a child, my mum didn't take me to the doctors and just think, oh, well, the doctors know best. The doctor said it's just this. It must just be this. And granted, I probably was I know I was an anxious child. So it makes sense for you to claim it to be anxiety attacks. I get it. But maybe just run a test. Maybe just run a test because it could be both. It could have to do with both things. Because now I'm not feeling anxious. It's not anxiety based, and I'm still having these same things happen. And I minimize my own. I just minimize my own experience over all these last like 29 years because I've just thought, well, it's the same feeling I've had since I was freaking 6 years old. What does it matter? Like I've just dealt. I'm like, this is just how my body. Yeah, right? I'm like, this is just how my body like does things. And there are so many things now that. I'm nearly 30 and I'm only figuring out now that like no one else around me feels. No one else around me struggles to walk for more than 3 minutes. Like, no one else is out of breath when they walk up like 5 little steps of stairs. Yeah. And I think the biggest wake up call was when I was overseas with my friend at the start of this year because she saw me in the midst of all my symptoms and she was like, hey, have you looked into POTS? I'm like, yeah, I have actually been looking into it. And she was like, go get checked when we get back home because like you have every symptom. And we were doing like, so it's just been since April, it has been, I enjoyed my holiday so much. It was honestly the best time of my life, but I've been on a mission since I've been back to just like, I need to sort out my health shit.
Yeah, good on you, Elle. I'm really proud of you that you're getting shit done.
I am. It's a bit scary, but
It is scary.
I'm really, really
but now
glad I'm on top of it at the moment.
Now you have answers.
Knowing. Yeah.
Things will make sense to you and you'll be able to know exactly what can help you and what doesn't help you anymore. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. I also did work out what was causing my stomach pains.
Tell us.
Fruit.
Fruit.
Not fructose.
Not fruit.
Not fructose, but apples. Apples are cantaloupe, which I love cantaloupe, everyone.
Damn it.
Cantaloupe is like...
Cantaloupe's the best.
I know. I freaking love cantaloupe. But apples, cantaloupe, pears... No.
That sucks.
Yeah, so I'm a strictly banana and berries kind of gal.
I love bananas. I love berries. So all apples, all fruits that start with B.
Yes, perhaps BB fruits, berries and bananas.
And
is there another fruit with a B?
I don't think so. No, can't think of another fruit that starts with B.
No, I can't.
Blueberries. Any berries?
Berries are yes, there's berries.
Any berries? No, I'm saying could be a raspberry, could be a strawberry.
I think I've tried them all, and so far they've been okay.
Blackberry, that's another one with a B.
Oh yes, blackberry. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I feel like there's a really obvious fruit.
I'm thinking too, but I'm missing the mark.
I can only think of the word Beetlejuice.
No.
Beetlejuice, yes. Beetlejuice, yes.
Speaking of, have you watched the new Beetlejuice?
I haven't watched the new Beetlejuice. I haven't even seen the old one.
No, neither have I. I've been, so for those that, I don't know if I've said this on the podcast, but I have like this weird fear of Winona Ryder. Like,
yeah, you do.
I constantly get nightmares. Every time I see her, I will get a nightmare the next night. And it will be of her doing unpleasant things to me. And it's gone on since I was like in high school. I think I watched The Crucible.
That's why I'm laughing, because it sounds horrible, right? And it would be very scary if you were having him. But the fact is, we've been speaking about this since we were teenagers, so it gets to the point where you just need to laugh.
But I've been watching, I love Jenna Ortega, so I've been watching her little interviews about, like, little, why do I have to say little? Her interviews for Beetlejuice, and she's with Winona Ryder, and I don't know what it is about Winona Ryder now when I'm watching these interviews about Beetlejuice. She just, I don't know if she attacks me in my dreams because she reminds me of myself. Like,
right.
Like, is it, I don't know what it is because I'm less fearful at the moment in the settings of which I'm watching her now. Maybe because Jenna Ortega's next to her, I feel a little bit safer. I don't know. But, like, she just seems so, like, just...
Is it because she's more mature now?
No, she seems anxious And it makes me feel calm because I'm like, oh, she seems like a normal person just like me. Like, that's how I'm feeling it.
But the thing is, like, she's always kind of been that way.
I know, but I've always been so afraid. I've never taken the time to watch more than like a 2-minute of her.
Justice for Winona Ryder.
Yeah, because I always watched her in like an acting scenario. I never watched her in an interview. And like, yeah, there was some part of me that felt like, oh, like I felt like our hearts touched. And then I was like, oh, I'm so afraid I'm going to get a nightmare tonight. But I haven't had a nightmare. It's been like about a week. So we'll see maybe tonight because I spoke about it. But
that's good. Poor Winona. I only ever knew her from Mr. Deeds.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I forgot she was in that.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Oh,
Longfellow Deeds was Adam Sandler's name in that movie. I feel like that's a great name for a pet.
Longfellow Deeds.
Longfellow Deeds.
Longfellow.
Come on, Longfellow. And then you can call him Deedsy.
Deedsy.
Come on, Deedsy.
I like that.
One of my favorite things to do is to think of names for pets. And I always think that's a great name for a pet. Come on.
You don't have pets. Oh, you have fish. Fish are not fish.
I'm just going to put it out there that my elbow keeps making farting sounds on the armchair. I'm not farting.
I thought that
all
was
right?
genuinely you
I'm
for
not
a
having
second.
those protein farts that people get.
Are you though?
Dude, I don't fart.
Okay.
Haven't we spoken about this on the podcast?
Yeah, I know, but
I
just can't believe
may do lots of shits in the toilet, but I'm not a farter. All right? And I'm damn proud of that.
farts are more enjoyable. I don't know.
Okay. I love my uncle very much, but he has scarred me for life about farting in front of people.
Why?
So when I was a kid, we were at my grandmother's house. This chair witnessed it.
Yes.
This good old chair. All right? We were having dinner around the table, and as a little girl, I farted.
Oh my God, I think I remember this story.
I farted in front of everyone, and he laughed in my face.
Yeah.
And since that day, I started crying in front of everyone.
I was like embarrassed.
I was so embarrassed. Since that day, unless it was literally by accident because it freaking slipped out and I didn't know it was coming,
Yeah.
I have not farted in front of anyone.
Even your husband?
Nope.
Even your child?
You know what? I think he's the only person that I'll maybe let it slip around.
Wow.
But as he gets older, that will stop. That will stop. Don't you worry about that.
Wow. See, I don't know. I don't think I have enough control of any part of my body to like
Yeah, but there's
hold it in.
tricks you can do.
There are no
to stop a
tricks.
fart. Not to stop a fart, to make it silent. There's tricks, my friend, and I have learned them all. Do you want me to tell you a trick? Does anyone want to know a trick to mute their farts?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're in the toilet, I have traveled with my husband. We have shared toilets for many, many years. We've been together for 11 years. Blah, 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 blah. If you need a fart when you're on the toilet, the trick is get yourself some toilet paper. Fold said toilet paper. Hold it over your butt, like on your butt. Fart into the toilet paper. Why are we talking about this? Fart into the toilet paper. It will be silent. It will be silent.
I don't believe you.
Do it tonight when you go home, and your life will change for the better.
I don't think I have the energy to do that.
I
I'd rather just
do,
fart.
Elle. If there's something I have energy for, I may get sick and have fevers and won't be able to get off the couch, but there's one thing. I'll be on my deathbed, damn it. And if I need a fart, I'm going to tell my husband, get me the toilet paper. I need a fart, so he doesn't have to hear it. I will always have energy to do that. It's
Wow.
a sick, sick world I live in.
Yeah, that's
I have a sickness. I cannot fart in front of anyone. It is a sickness.
that is a sickness.
I agree. But my inner child is hurt and bruised.
Yeah, I understand. God, that's so much effort.
I'm exhausted. Why do you think when you see me, I'm exhausted sometimes? Because I have to use so much brain power over when and not should I fart. It's ridiculous. Honestly.
Gosh.
It is 2024 and I'm scared of farting. Come on. That's ridiculous. But will I overcome this fear?
You don't want to, I can tell.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to. I'm on my high horse.
Yeah,
at this point.
fair. Honestly, there's a lot. I've actually met a lot of women that have not, like, don't fart in front of other people. But, like,
There you go.
it's just,
It's not the same
just
for
assume-
any woman I know.
yeah, I just assume they all lie.
No, I
believe you. Because I've never heard you, so I believe
you've
you.
never heard me fart.
No.
My husband has heard me fart, don't get me wrong. But it's in moments of dire
Diarrhea.
terribleness. Diarrhea. Yes, it's been when I've had alcohol poisoning, when I've had food poisoning and gastro. That's when he's heard the horribleness come from the bathroom.
Fair.
Yeah, because that's what having a partner is all about. When your loved one is sick, you're there rubbing their back and being like, everything's gonna be okay. And unfortunately, I found myself in that situation too many times.
Fair.
And alcohol poisoning, that's
confusing because I was going to say, you don't even drink.
Yeah, I think that's a big contributor as to why I don't. Not that I drank much before that, but I was at my brother-in-law's engagement.
Yeah.
I ate quite a bit of food that night. It was nice food, I remember. I had half a bottle of champagne, right? And you'd think because I ate blah, blah, I am a very light...
Yeah, you are very lightweight.
I am a very light drinker, meaning I'll have a few sips and I'm like, woohoo, I need to slow down.
Yeah, she gets tipsy quick.
I get tipsy quick. But I had about a 20-minute high. I was the life of the party.
Really?
Legit. I was like, woo! My bra strap was falling down. Then my shoe came off. A lot of fun things were happening, right? I was dancing, and I'm not a dancer.
Yeah,
Sorry
you
to say
aren't.
it. I'm really not. And anyway, I was dancing, and then all of a sudden, I go to my then fiance at the time. I'm gonna throw up. I think I'm sick. I need to go to the bathroom. And he's like, okay, go to the bathroom. Throw up, you'll feel better. I went and threw up. Did not feel
Never
better.
came back, yeah.
Never came out. Never came out again.
Eee.
My dad had to take me home, spewing at the back of the car. Then the rest of the night. Yeah, it was really bad. Yeah, don't get alcohol poisoning. It's bad.
Yeah, I've never been
know
into
what?
drinking that much at all.
Yeah, I'm not a drinker.
Yeah.
Definitely not a drinker. I feel like I can have fun without it.
Yeah, same here. I always said that. And then people look at you like, okay, people just say that. I don't know. I'm like, but I actually do. I'm always like having a great time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. It just doesn't do anything for me and it just makes me sleepy.
Yeah, you know what? I get a headache and I'm sleepy. Yep.
Yes. So, Elle, what? Obviously, we're a music podcast.
We are. You wouldn't think from this episode.
Just poop talk. What new? What else? We come back to come back to the season, and where do we finish off? Where we continued poop. But tell me. Ooh, okay. Update. Obviously, while I was gone, guys, we've spoken about the song Tears in Heaven so many times on this podcast. And while I was away, so for those who remember, I was going to go to see Bruce Springsteen while I was going to be in Prague. And unfortunately, my dear friend, the king, the boss.
The boss, you
The
mean.
boss, I know.
The
In my head, I'm like, the
king of
king.
what?
He's
Bossing?
my king. The king of bossing. My good friend, the boss, had to cancel the show I was going to that I freaking got front row seats for, or front row general admission for, because of his vocal problems. So I was sad and cried in the middle of a German train station. And then I ended up, instead of like going back to Prague to sit in my sorrows there, I ended up like changing my whole trip so that I could find a way to go to Eric Clapton's concert instead. And I did.
And where was that?
It was in Lyon in France.
Right.
And it was fabulous and I had a fantastic time. Although, I do want to pick a thing. he's one of those artists that didn't speak in between his songs.
Oh, I hate that.
It was so hard because I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm seeing Eric Clapton live. I was so excited. I'm like, whoa, what the hell? Like, I cannot believe I'm getting this opportunity.
Damn
And it was beautiful and sounded amazing. The audience was lovely as well. Like, it was really nice being in a French, I've really liked going to concerts in France. Like, that's the second one I've been to and just good atmosphere. But, yeah, he didn't speak in between. And then I was thinking, is it because of the language barrier? Like, did he assume, like, there's no point because, like, maybe they won't, like, there's no point conversing with an audience that speak predominantly another language? And I was thinking maybe that is
the case. But English, I mean, look, I went to Italy and Greece, but English was so...
Yeah, it's all over the place.
There.
Yeah. So, there was that. And you don't want to have people miss out on, like, your stories and stuff. So, I'm going to presume that it was because of that, but I'm going to hope that he usually does talk in between these songs.
Maybe he doesn't. You know, maybe some people do, some people don't. I feel like we got spoiled with someone like Paul McCartney who would tell us a story in between every song or second song.
Yeah.
You know, that was really fabulous. But I don't know, when I went to Tom Jones, he didn't really say many stories. He was kind of like, and the next song is this, and then he would start singing. But it was not really stories.
Did he at least? But he at least said something like it to bring in the next song.
He would say something. So what? The song would end, and he would just start playing the next song.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, what about when he came on stage?
I think he spoke for a little bit, and then that was it. Like it was the start when he walked out. He did a song, and then he spoke a little bit, and then even when he left, I think it was just like and left. It felt very weird.
Wow.
It was I loved the concept. I loved being there, but it was a very weird energy. I was like, I actually walked off thinking, I wonder if he was in a good mood because he also didn't sing Layla, which is one of my favorite songs of his.
Isn't that one of his most popular songs?
Yeah. And then I was like, maybe like, did I daydream while he was singing Layla and I missed out? And I'm like, nah, because I think he's taking it out of his set. So I'm like, no, it was interesting. I walked off thinking like maybe he just wasn't feeling the vibe that day, which is totally fair. But it was a bit disheartening. However, loved the fact that I got to
see him, which is amazing in itself.
And very talented, very amazing. Like listening to him play guitar was insane. But I found that really, really interesting because I just presumed he would be someone that would like put everything there. Like, put it all out there.
Well, usually, people from back then do.
Yeah.
Based on the concerts that I've been to.
Same.
They usually do. That's actually very odd. I picture Eric Clapton that makes me feel like he's sad.
Yeah, same. That's how I walked off thinking.
I hope he's okay. I know he's been through a lot of shit in his life.
I think so.
He's lost a lot of close people. I know he's lost a child. I know he's lost his bestie.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's hard stuff. Okay. Me too. But yeah.
That's no good.
But so I was listening to a lot of Eric Clapton on my trip, and I was listening to my good old Interrupters, my fave band.
Ah, yes.
Saw them live as well.
I saw it came on in the car the other day.
Mm-hmm.
That She Got Arrested song.
Yes. I'm all for the Interrupters. I think they have taken over my whole entire brain.
Wow.
And watching them live, because I went and watched them before Eric Clapton, and that was like insane. So good. I was really happy with it. But yes, other than Interrupters, I have been listening again to a lot of George Harrison.
Can't go wrong with
I cannot stop listening. I've been listening to If Not For You a lot. Mm-hmm. If not for you.
Oh, that was a good impression, I feel like. You had the essence of George in there.
Yeah. But
yeah, you lost it.
I lost it, definitely. But I quite literally listened to that song, I think, every day from maybe mid-April till mid-August.
Yeah, songs can have an effect on you like that.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about George and his songs?
Yeah.
There are a few songs that I loved, and I loved them, but I had no idea that they were George.
Oh yeah, like how you didn't know. My mind set on you. Yeah,
on you. I got my mind set on you,
but it's gonna take money.
All right. Anyway, I had no idea that was him, which seems ridiculous because obviously I love the Beatles, but I didn't really listen to the Beatles a ton outside of the Beatles.
Yeah, out of their
Yeah. Besides Paul a bit.
Yes, and the wings.
I haven't ventured down a lot. The other song that God.
What is my life?
What's it called?
What is life?
And the reason why I know it is because it was at the end of Big Daddy.
Oh,
one
yeah.
of Adam Sandler's movies. And I've always liked the song since then. But why didn't I know that was George Harrison? He keeps surprising me.
Yeah, he's
with these amazing songs. And he's just kind of made me rethink how I've always thought about him in the Beatles. When I first started listening to the Beatles, he was kind of like I didn't really care for him at the start. But I was very young and naive. It was always Paul. I've always been obsessed with Paul. It wasn't until I watched that Let It Be documentary that Peter Jackson did.
Peter Jackson, yeah.
On Disney Plus, to be honest, and that's stupidly of me, that I realized how fantastic he actually is. And how really good of a songwriter he is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I knew that some of the best Beatles songs were George songs.
Yeah.
But his career after, it led me down a path of after the Beatles.
Yeah. Because
he didn't get to shine in the Beatles. He just didn't.
Yeah, I feel like John and Paul kind of, they have that, they're like, it feels like there's a glow around them.
Yeah, Lennon McCartney.
Yeah,
it was everywhere, all over the albums. Even if just Paul wrote the song, it was Lennon McCartney.
Yeah.
Just John wrote the song, it was Lennon McCartney.
Yeah.
Like their name was plastered all over all the albums. So they just took the limelight. I don't know. I think George deserved better in the Beatles. I am learning this now in my fragile age.
See, I've always been more of a George fan than he's always been my favorite Beatle.
Yeah.
But I'm also like a heavy Traveling Wilburys fan, and that's probably why. Because like his work in Traveling Wilburys was my fave. Like I truly am sad every day that they don't still have music. Like if I could listen to anything, like they're just like, it's like literally the best of the best in my brain.
Yeah, well, half of them are gone.
I know, it's so sad. Roy. Roy. Yeah, I feel like most of my favorite Beatles songs as well are like a George Harrison song. Yeah. No, he's a sweetie. Although I do think maybe I should delve into some Ringo. I don't think I've ever listened to like enough Ringo on his own.
I know a few of his songs. Again, I don't know why, but a lot of my songs that I learnt as a young kid / teenager were from shows and movies. Mm-hmm. That's how I got my knowledge of music so early on. Because
through soundtracks,
I would just like watch the movies a million times and enjoy the song as it would play in the movie. But I first learnt about a Ringo song off an episode of The Simpsons. The one that's like, it don't come easy. Have you heard of that one?
I feel like I know that song. I just probably didn't realize it was a Ringo song.
Yeah, well, it's the episode where Marge is painting a portrait of Mr. Burns.
Yes.
And as this montage is happening, it's got this Ringo song in the background, because the joke of the episode is that she sent Ringo a painted portrait of him, and she wrote a letter to him, and then years later he replies to her.
Oh,
you know what
Marjorie.
I mean? Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going off track, but that's how I learned about some Ringo songs before I even was a Beatles fan.
Nice. Yeah, it's so funny because it wasn't until I started listening to the Beatles that I realized I already listened to so many of their songs.
Yeah, they're just so popular. And a lot of them are very commercialized now.
Oh, definitely. Like I used to always sing, they say it's your birthday. It's my birthday too.
Yeah.
Because in 16 Candles, he's like, one of the guys sings it to the girl that's the birthday of. Yeah. And I've always sung it like that. And then I was like, oh, okay. Wait a second. That's from that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It usually is.
Always.
All right, guys. Well, I think we have a really cool year in store.
I think so too.
A lot of exciting guests, a lot of exciting topics. We hope you come along for the ride. Yes. We're very excited.
We are really excited for you guys to see once we finish up our set as well. We're really keen for our set and to just have a really, really fun year.
Yep.
I think this second half of 2024 is going to be so fun.
Yes. We want to start doing things that involve you guys more too. Mm-hmm. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be really exciting.
And a bit more interactive things with guests as well, which will be really, really fun.
All right, guys. Well, we'll leave it at that for now. Mm-hmm. And we will see you next week.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.